All right, let's do this. North Sentinel Island. Located in the Bay of Bengal, North Sentinel Island is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth. The Indian government has strictly prohibited any approach within 3 nautical miles of the island. Why? Because the tribe is fiercely protective of their isolation. They've lived without external contact for tens of thousands of years and have aggressively resisted all outsiders. Helicopters surveying the island after the 2004 tsunami were attacked with arrows. In 2018, an American missionary who tried to approach them was killed almost immediately. The government not only respects their wish to remain untouched, but also wants to protect the tribe from outside diseases they have no immunity against. It's not just illegal to visit, it's a potential death sentence. Room 39. Deep within Pyongyang lies Room 39, a top-secret government facility believed to be the heart of North Korea's illicit economic operations. It's rumored to be involved in counterfeiting currency, drug production, and arms smuggling. The room functions under the ruling Kim family and is essential to maintaining the country's economy under international sanctions. No outsiders are allowed in, and even most North Koreans don't know what happens inside. Intelligence reports from defectors and international agencies have only scratched the surface. It's one of the most mysterious financial operations in the world, hidden behind the curtain of totalitarian control. Svalbard Global Seed Vault. This seed vault nestled in the Arctic Svalbard archipelago. This facility is often dubbed the Doomsday Vault. It holds over 1 million seed samples from nearly every country in the world. Let me tell you why. To safeguard the planet's agricultural diversity in the face of global catastrophes like war, climate change, or pandemics. The vault is buried deep inside a mountain and is designed to withstand earthquakes, nuclear war, and rising sea levels. Only select scientists with official clearance are allowed inside. It's not dangerous in a conventional sense, but it's locked off from the world because it protects the future of food on Earth. Area 51. A cornerstone of modern conspiracy theories, Area 51 is a classified U.S. Air Force facility in Nevada. Its existence was officially acknowledged only in 2013, despite decades of speculation. The base is believed to be used for testing experimental aircraft and weapons, but the real allure comes from alleged UFO research and alien technology. Civilian access is strictly forbidden, and surveillance is relentless. Signs around the perimeter warn that deadly force is authorized. People who approach the restricted zones are met with heavily armed guards, even drones. It's as much a mythological location as it is a real one. The Snake Island. Roughly 90 miles off the coast of Sao Paulo, in the Atlantic Ocean, sits a small, forest-covered island that few people have ever stepped foot on, and for good reason. It's officially known as Ilha da Queimada Grande, but most know it simply as Snake Island, and it's exactly what the name suggests. This 43-hectare island is the only natural home of the golden lancehead viper, Bothrops insularis, one of the most venomous snakes in the world. These snakes are not just rare, they're genetically distinct from their mainland relatives, and they've evolved in extreme isolation. The golden lancehead's venom is up to 5 times more potent than that of its continental cousins. It's hemotoxic, meaning it destroys blood cells, muscle tissue, and can cause internal bleeding. Reports say it can melt human flesh. Estimates vary, but it's believed there may be 1 to 5 snakes per square meter. That means you could be surrounded by deadly vipers no matter where you step, and unlike many snakes that slither away from danger, the golden lancehead is known to be aggressive and precise with its strike. One bite could kill a human in under an hour. Today, only authorized scientists, mostly herpetologists and biologists, are permitted to land there, and even then, under heavily controlled conditions with full medical backup. They go not to study the danger, but to preserve a critically endangered species. Ironically, the golden lancehead is now threatened due to habitat loss and illegal wildlife trafficking. Its venom is also of interest to pharmaceutical researchers because it contains compounds that may help treat heart disease. Medjugorje. Hidden in the Ural Mountains is the closed town of Medjugorje. Officially, it's a mining town. Unofficially, it's believed to be the site of secret nuclear missile bunkers, or perhaps even a shelter for Russian elites in the event of global disaster. No outsider has access, and even Russian citizens need special permission to enter. Satellite imagery and whistleblower reports suggest heavy military presence and underground facilities. It's not just off-limits, it's invisible. The Vatican Secret Archives. Right in the heart of Rome, behind fortified walls and beneath centuries of stone, lies one of the most mysterious and restricted places on Earth, the Vatican Apostolic Archives, often called the Vatican Secret Archives. But don't let the word secret fool you. It's not just locked away for drama. It's sealed for power, protection, and control. The archives are not just a room or even a single building. They stretch across over 85 kilometers of shelving, holding documents, scrolls, and manuscripts collected over more than 12 centuries. Some date as far back as the 8th century. It's estimated that millions of records are preserved here. Everything from personal correspondence between popes and emperors to the transcripts of heresy trials, exorcism reports, ancient maps, and papal decrees written by hand on parchment. But for all its mystery, the archives aren't completely off limits. In 1881, Pope Leo XIII opened parts of it to carefully selected scholars, but access is heavily restricted. Only qualified academics with credentials from major institutions can apply. And even then, they must submit a request specifying the exact document they wish to view. They can't browse, they can't take photos, and they're only allowed to study one document at a time, under supervision. Boob the like button if you like these kind of videos. Let's move on. Doomsday Vaults in USA. It has been built in the Cold War. The Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado is a hardened military bunker designed to withstand a nuclear attack. It serves as a command center for NORAD and other defense operations. Some believe it also houses emergency shelters for top U.S. officials. Access is limited to top clearance military personnel, reinforced by steel and granite, protected by blast doors, and monitored constantly. This facility is one of the most secure places in the world. Bohemian Grove. Every year, some of the world's most powerful men gather in this redwood forest for secret rituals, policy discussions, and what's described as relaxation. Attendees have included U.S. presidents, corporate titans, and media moguls. But what really goes on inside is unknown. Filming is banned, outsiders are kept far away, rumors of occult ceremonies and elite manipulation persist. It's where decisions might be made that affect the rest of the world. Poveglia Island. In the 14th century, when the Black Plague devastated Europe, Venice, like many other cities, was desperate to contain the spread. Their solution? Isolation. They turned Poveglia into a quarantine colony. Thousands of infected men, women, and children were forcibly brought to the island, left to suffer and die alone. Mass graves were dug, bodies were burned. It's estimated that over 160,000 people perished there across multiple plague outbreaks. It's said that the island soil was made up to 50% of human ash. It's not over. In the early 20th century, the island was repurposed into a mental asylum. Reports from that time are chilling. Patients claim to hear whispers in the walls, see shadows at night, and feel watched by unseen eyes. Their complaints were dismissed as delusions, until the whispers drove one doctor mad. According to legend, he began performing inhumane experiments on patients. Lobotomies with crude tools, solitary confinement in underground cells, and chemical sedation. Eventually, tormented by guilt or insanity, the doctor threw himself from the bell tower. The story goes that he didn't die on impact, but lay paralyzed on the ground as he heard the same whispers that had plagued his patients until he was dragged away by something unseen. The asylum shut down shortly after, but the island remained off limits. Today, Poveglia is strictly forbidden. The Italian government has placed a permanent ban on public access, not because of superstition, but because the buildings are unstable and the land itself is considered a health hazard. Even so, local fishermen refuse to cast their nets nearby, fearing they might pull up bones. And anyone who's tried to sneak onto the island reports overwhelming feelings of dread, disorientation, and in some cases, sudden illness. No development projects have ever succeeded there. Investors walk away, bids collapse. It's as if the island wants to be left alone. Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. On April 26, 1986, Reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exploded during a flawed safety test. The result was the worst nuclear disaster in history, releasing radioactive material over large parts of Europe. In the immediate aftermath, over 100,000 people were evacuated from the nearby city of Pripyat and surrounding towns. Many of them never returned. Today, the Chernobyl exclusion zone spans a 30-kilometer radius around the reactor. Despite the passage of decades, radiation levels in many areas remain dangerously high. Wildlife has reclaimed the land, and ghost towns sit frozen in time. Access is tightly controlled by Ukrainian authorities. Technically, tourists can visit only through licensed, guided tours that avoid the most contaminated zones. Going off-path or entering restricted buildings is strictly prohibited, and even in the safer zones, visitors are required to undergo radiation checks when leaving. Thanks for watching. Peace.